Yeah, well, I think it started early in '97 when we, myself and Heath Sylvester and Daryl Tonetti sat down and had a cup of coffee at the university. The university was in its second year of operation, and Daryl Tonetti and I had played in the Maroochydore A-grade grand final the previous year in '96, and you know, we'd beaten Noosa by 50 points in that grand final, and I think it's still a record. But you know, we were having a cuppa, and we said let's get a rugby team happening at the university, and then yeah, one thing led to another. We approached Barry Sinnott to coach in that first year.
I was at home, knock on the door. Chris Thompson turned up with Heath Sylvester and a dozen Crown Lagers, and we sat on the front veranda and drank the dozen beers, and at the end of that the decision had been made to form a university rugby club. I understand prior to that Heath and Chris had met with Daryl out at uni, and I guess there was a number of people who were in that at that stage that they wanted to move on from Maroochydore, so that helped because we had a base of players to come and start the club up.
Well, a lot of it was just basically needed more teams in the competition. We found out that I think it was Gympie was pulling out. Caboolture had pulled out the previous year, so we were down to just the local teams. I think there was about 4 teams in the competition. A couple of the guys were going to the university at the time. There was only 3 or 4 buildings built there. I was helping out working there, and we sort of talked about, look, they got a football field, they got a clubhouse. Why don't we start a club here?
Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
First season was very frustrating for us. We were still finding our feet off the field in terms of getting all the administration right, the sponsors and everything else, and doing all that additional work. And then, yeah, things just didn't click for us on the field.
We could see that the university, once we started a team there, obviously in years to come it was going to get bigger and bigger and bigger.
And we started to get serious by 2000. Everybody, started to gel and decide, hey, we're sick of getting beaten. Let's do something. That's what I remember. At the end of the day, that was a big day, and I think it actually put a wake-up call to the rest of the rugby clubs on the coast that, hey, university, the Berries are coming.
Even by 2002 we hadn't won premierships, but they were going to come. It was all about establishing ground rules for a club, and even though we went through some difficult times in the 2002-2003 years where the club was in a serious rebuilding phase, no one wanted to walk away from it. It was just hard yards, that's all.
Your face.
think it was just that, you know, everyone wanted to be around each other, and it's if you were a new person coming to the region and you wanted to meet people, our club was the perfect place to do that. So that's how we started to get, from about 2005 onwards, the continuity of players is because people wanted to hang around the club. It didn't have that turnover where people would come, do uni and then rack off. They'd end up actually staying on the coast and with the uni club because of the mates that they'd made through that time.
So I staggered through the night, seeking out your rescue blues. Gonna burn your name right across the sky, so I never forget what the feeling's like. Gonna burn your name right across the sky, so I never forget what the feeling's like.
We'd obviously lost a lot of players to the Stingrays that year. 2004 was a successful year, but we fell at the final hurdle. 2005 we actually ended up finishing last that year.
Well, I think as a whole now, looking back, Stingrays is a good thing. I think it did a lot for coast rugby in its time.
We probably supported it the most, which meant we lost 70% of our starting A-grade side in 2005.
It was it was hard. You had all these blokes like, yes, we finally got a good bunch of footy players to have 3/4 of them, you know, just head off to play Stingrays. Nothing against those blokes or anyone who went and played for Stingrays, because I think it's good for players to always try and reach their full potential. But God, it hurt the footy club and hurt us as a team. But yeah, look, you know, it is what it is, and you just got to deal with those things.
So it was more of a rebuilding in 2005, and 2006 we were reaping the rewards for it. So, but Brent Stevens was a skilled coach and a people's person. So and yeah, it was a good year. Just missed out in the final, which hurt a bit. It still scars my memory, but it pushed us for the following year to get even more hungry.
So I sound the bells that praise your precious heart. Burn your name right across the sky, so I never forget what the feeling's like. Burn your name right across the sky, so I never forget what the feeling's like. Burn your name right across the sky, so I never
I was devastated again. I thought I'm never going to get another chance. I was meant to win this one, but another massive learning curve, and for everyone, and as a club, I think we dealt really well with it. We partied hard, and yeah, we came back the next year, and the rest is history.
With a backline with Gimp at 9, that's spine, so Gimp at 9, Scuzzy at 10, Stocker and Scummy at 12 and 13. That whole inside backs was all we had to do in the forwards is give them front foot ball, and they lit it up. So the young players, 19, 20, but just playing against 4 men and making them look silly was really special to be a part of.
Yeah, it was like we were all seriously invested in this game. We weren't playing, but we had watched them go through the hard yards, and there was no option but for them to kill it. So.
It's something pretty special. You know, going to Noosa at the best of times is an interesting place to play rugby, but to be there, you know, 2 non-Noosa teams, you know, 2 big sets of opposing, you know, crowds, it was just something really, really special.
There was people dressed up, everyone was wearing green, everyone was, you know, dressed up in their kilts and their tartan material and their long fuzzy hair, and
I remember being extremely hot and Nambour coming out like they had nothing to lose.
And then De Hoya goes down, injury, significant injury, wasn't going to come back, and then Dowie, come out with a superhuman effort.
Dowie's just come off from a final himself in reserve grade, and I think they lost. So he's had to deal with losing a final, playing a full game, then he's called upon, called away through a grand final for A grade.
It's burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we've come right now. Let's see how far we've come. And I believe it all is coming to an end. Oh well, I guess we're gonna pretend. Let's see how far we've come. Yeah. Let's see how far we've come. Gone, baby, it's all gone. There's no one in the corner and there's no one at home. Well, it was cool, it was just all cool. Now it's over for me and it's over for you. Well, it's gone, baby, it's all gone. There's no one on the corner and there's no one at home. Well, it was cool, it was just all cool. Now it's over for me and it's over for you. I believe the world is burning to the ground. Oh well, I guess we're gonna find out. Let's see how far we...
That game was unbelievable. I was lucky enough to score the winning try in the corner, which meant a hell of a lot to me because I lost a few games with the club and we've had some hard years, and to finally win one, it was unbelievable. I've never had such a good feeling in my life.
It was awesome. The virtually the entire crowd, and even some of the Noosa crowd went up to cheer us. So
10 years, 11 years of waiting for a grand final and a grand final win, seeing all those old blokes coming off the sideline and who started the club and who mentored the club was outstanding, and just everyone was so excited, and it was just a great feeling, mate, to be honest, and hugging and a lot of man love for sure.